We begin the show tonight with a question for one of the smallest but one of the richest countries in the world, Qatar. Why are 8 former Indian Navy officers, captains and commanders being held in solitary confinement without any charges being framed and without bail being given, despite the fact that there are no formal charges yet? 7 months back, they were arrested in Doha over accusations of spying. 7 months on, the accusations are yet to be framed in a formal charge sheet presented to a court of law. The CEO of the company they were working for is from Oman. His name is Khamis Al-Ajmi. He was also arrested, but he has been released. Why then are the Indians still in jail? If they were spying, then why was the man from Oman released? We ask again, if the charge is as serious as spying, why was one person released and the Indians kept in jail? This is a story that needs to be told, because way too often Indians working abroad have been wrongfully detained and forced to spend years in jail without being proven guilty. We cannot let these 8 veterans meet the same fate. We cannot let them face prosecution for crimes they did not commit. So tonight, we are going to raise some tough questions, not just for the authorities in Qatar, but also for the officials in New Delhi. Questions like, what exactly are the charges against the detainees? Why have the charges not been framed yet? Why are they being held in solitary confinement? What is the status of their health and well-being? And above all, what is New Delhi doing to bring them back? Simultaneously, we will be running an online campaign to seek the release of these former Navy officers. If you have any thoughts about this story, you can share them with us through the hashtag #BringOurVeteransHome. I repeat, hashtag #BringOurVeteransHome. We will be also getting your voices on the matter to better understand the intricacies of repatriation and unlawful detentions. But first, let me give you a lowdown of what exactly happened. This story begins in 2017. This is when the 8 officers in question were employed by a defense firm in Qatar. The name of this firm is Dhara Global Technologies and Consulting Services. It apparently provides training to Qatar's Navy personnel. The CEO of this company is Khamis Al-Ajmi. He is a retired Air Force officer from Oman. The 8 officers had been working at Al-Ajmi's firm for over 5 years, and little did they know about the price that they would have to pay for their service. On the midnight of the 30th of August 2022, these officers were apparently summoned by Qatar's Interior Ministry, and once there, they were asked to accompany the officials for a training program. But ever since that day, the officials never returned home. They were detained and put behind bars. So was their CEO, Khamis Al-Ajmi. When he went to secure their release, he was briefly detained by the Qatari authorities. But in November, right before the Qatar World Cup, he was released from prison. But the officers were not. And why is that? Does this indicate clear discrimination against Indians, even in treatment accorded to prisoners? Also, who exactly are these officers? Let me take you through their names. There's Captain Navtej Singh Gill, Captain Birendra Kumar Verma, Captain Saurabh Vashisht, Commander Amit Nagpal, Commander Puranendu Tiwari, Commander Sugunakar Pakala, Commander Sanjeev Gupta, and Sailor Ragesh. Like I said, some of these officers have impeccable records of service. For instance, Captain Avtej Singh Gill received the Sword of Honor as a cadet. He was also the navigation officer for INS Virat, India's longest-serving warship. And on the other hand, we have Commander Purnendu Tiwari. In the year 2019, he was awarded with Pravasi Bharatiya Samman. This is the highest honor for overseas Indians. But as of the 30th of March 2023, both these reputed former officers, along with 6 of their associates, are in solitary confinement in Qatar. Why? What have they done? Well, there is no clear answer. Initially, reports suggested that they were charged with espionage for conducting spy operations for Israel. But since then, those familiar with the matter have rejected all such theories. And last we checked, the Indian side had not been formally informed about any charges filed against these individuals. So on what basis has Qatar detained them? Why have the charges not been made public? Why are the authorities in Qatar taking so long? I'm asking these questions because the families of these veterans are beginning to lose all hope of getting justice, of seeing their loved ones again. They are panic-stricken and clueless about what lies ahead. Have a look at these tweets. They are from Meetu Bhargava, the sister of Commander Purnendu Tiwari. For the last 2 months, she has been repeatedly calling on Qatar's government to repatriate the veterans on humanitarian grounds. She says all of these defense personnel are going through a mental breakdown. Besides not being able to keep good health, most of them have lost 10 to 15 kilograms in weight. Besides facing a host of serious medical issues. The Indian External Affairs Ministry is aware of this. India made 8 bail pleas for their release, but all 8 times the pleas were rejected. And why is that? Was our mission ever told why? If Qatar has nothing to say, then what exactly is it hiding and why? Have they tried to get bail for the veterans this year as well? In December, the External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, issued a statement. He said, and I'm quoting, "This is a very sensitive case. Their interests are foremost in our minds. Ambassadors and senior officials are in constant touch with Qatar's government. We assure they are our priority." And on the 16th of March, MEA spokesperson Arind Bagchi issued another statement. He said, and I'm quoting, "We attach high priority to the matter. There are continuous efforts by our embassy in Doha for the resolution of the matter so that early return and repatriation can take place of the detained Indian nationals." What is the sensitivity that was mentioned? When can we expect them to return home, given the fact that the Qatar government says nothing, does nothing? It is the 30th of March. Countless more statements have been issued. The MEA keeps saying the issue is their top priority. But you see, the delay in securing their release tells a different story. So some questions are bound to be asked. Is New Delhi putting enough pressure on Qatar's government? As for Qatar, when is it going to frame the charges against these officials? What is this delay all about? Also, in what condition is it keeping these officials? Earlier today, we sent a detailed mail to Qatar's embassy in New Delhi regarding this. On your screen, in fact, is a copy of our letter. We are awaiting a formal response from them. Remember, this long custody of the veterans for reasons not yet in public domain is a big test for Indian diplomacy and its engagement with the Indian diaspora, especially in West Asia. And here's why I say this. Have a look at the figure on your screen. When it comes to Indians being jailed abroad, West Asia tops that list. Bahrain has around 265 Indian prisoners. Kuwait, 428, Qatar 682, Saudi Arabia 1,362, the UAE 1,966. Many of them may have been involved in crimes and been convicted, but what about those languishing in jails only under suspicion? Do these prisoners receive the same treatment as the others, or is there discrimination? The saga of these 8 veterans detained in Qatar has come as a telling reminder about a bitter reality. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.